A bright flash of blue light tore through the darkness of space. Where there was nothing before, now floated a massive ship. The vessel was long and gray, with sharp angles and glowing blue engines. This was the HFY Thunderbolt, the pride of humanity's space fleet. Captain Tae-ho Kim gripped his command chair as warning lights flashed across the bridge. The ship shook violently. Something had gone very wrong with their jump. "Damage report," Captain Kim shouted. The crew worked quickly at their stations. Screens showed red warning signs all over the ship's systems. "Engine power at 40%, Captain," said Hanbin, the ship's engineer. His fingers moved fast across his control panel. "The wormhole drive is offline. We won't be jumping again anytime soon." Captain Kim nodded. "Where are we, Soo-jin?" Lieutenant Soo-jin looked up from her scanner with wide eyes. "Sir, I don't recognize any of these star patterns. We're not in our galaxy anymore." A heavy silence fell over the bridge. They were lost, far from home, in unknown space. "I'm picking up signals, Captain," said Hyunwoo, the communications specialist. "Many ships nearby. They appear to be around a space station or trading post." "Put it on screen," ordered Captain Kim. The main view screen showed a busy space hub. Hundreds of ships of different shapes and sizes moved around a massive ring-shaped station. None of the designs looked familiar to the human crew. "Those ships don't match any known alien designs in our database," said Yi-jin, looking worried. "We've discovered a completely new civilization." Captain Kim stood up. He was a tall man with serious eyes and short black hair. 20 years in Earth's space navy had prepared him for many things, but not for being lost in an unknown galaxy. "Jae-yun, prepare a peaceful greeting message," he said to his diplomatic officer. "Tell them we mean no harm." Jae-yun nodded and began working on the message. She was young but smart, with short hair and a calm manner even in this crisis. "Captain, several ships are changing course toward us," warned Soo-jin. "They're moving fast. I think they noticed our arrival." "Raise shields," Captain Kim ordered. "Defensive posture only. We don't want to seem threatening." The Thunderbolt's energy shields hummed to life, creating an invisible bubble around the massive warship. In the engine room, Han Bin and his team worked frantically. Warning lights flashed as they tried to fix damaged systems. Han Bin wiped sweat from his forehead as he looked at the wormhole drive. Its core glowed with dangerous energy. "Stabilize the containment field," he shouted to his team. "If that drive explodes, we'll take half this sector with us." Back on the bridge, the approaching alien ships grew larger on the view screen. They had smooth purple hulls that seemed to shine like beetle shells. Their engines glowed green as they moved in a tight formation. "They're scanning us, Captain," reported Yoon-ji, the science officer. "Very thorough scans. They're trying to learn everything about our ship." "Let them look," said Captain Kim. "We have nothing to hide." Jae-yun looked up from her station. "Captain, I've prepared a greeting in several basic mathematical patterns. Universal communication basics. I'm broadcasting now." Minutes passed as they waited for a response. The alien ships continued to approach, now forming a half circle around the Thunderbolt. "Captain, I'm receiving a transmission," said Hyunwoo suddenly. "It contains visual elements." Putting it on screen. The view screen changed to show an alien face. It had purple skin, 4 eyes arranged in a diamond pattern, and no visible nose. When it spoke, its mouth moved in strange ways. "Unidentified vessel, you have entered Vesperian space without authorization. Your ship design is unknown to Coalition records. State your purpose immediately or face defensive action." Captain Kim stepped forward. "I am Captain Tae-ho Kim of the human spaceship Thunderbolt. We arrived here by accident during a wormhole drive test. We mean no harm and seek only peaceful contact." The alien's 4 eyes blinked in different patterns. "Human. This species is not in our database. Your vessel appears to be heavily armed. The Coalition cannot permit unknown military vessels near Nebulon 7 trading hub. Our weapons are defensive only," Captain Kim explained. We. More ships approaching, Captain, interrupted Sujin. Larger vessels. Military class. On a separate screen, they could see a new group of ships. These were clearly warships with visible weapon ports and heavy armor. Coalition command vessel requesting direct communication with you, Captain, said Hyunwoo. Captain Kim straightened his uniform. Put them through. And someone find me everything we know about this coalition. The main screen on the Thunderbolt showed a new alien face. This one had blue skin with ridge-like patterns on its forehead. It wore a uniform with many badges and symbols. I am Commander Du-Yun Choi of the Galactic Coalition Defense Force. The alien said, your vessel is unauthorized in this sector. Power down your weapons and prepare to be boarded for inspection. Captain Kim stood tall. Commander, we are visitors from another galaxy. Our jump technology malfunctioned. We seek only repairs and peaceful contact. The coalition commander's eyes narrowed. Another galaxy. Impossible. No known species possesses such technology. Humans do, Captain Kim said simply. On the other side of the bridge, Sujin whispered to Captain Kim, Sir, they're powering up targeting systems. 6 vessels have weapons locked on us. Captain Kim kept his face calm, but his mind raced. These aliens didn't believe them and saw the Thunderbolt as a threat. Commander Du-Yun. He tried again. We can prove our peaceful intentions. Allow us to share. Your vessel is too heavily armed to approach our trading hub, interrupted Commander Du-Yun. Power down all systems now, or we will take defensive action. Jae-Yun looked worried. Captain, I think there's a translation problem. They may not understand that we're lost. Captain Kim nodded. Keep trying different approaches. Jae-Yun. We need to avoid conflict. Captain, Han Bin called from engineering. Our main power core is still unstable from the jump. If we power down as they ask, we might not be able to restart. Life support could fail. Captain Kim faced a difficult choice. Powering down could put his crew at risk, but refusing might start a fight. Commander Du-Yun, Captain Kim said, we cannot fully power down due to critical system damage. However, we can lower our shields briefly as a show of good faith. Before the alien could respond, Sujin shouted, Incoming. They've launched warning shots. 3 bright energy pulses headed straight for the Thunderbolt. Shields holding at 95%, reported Jae-Ho from the weapons station. No damage. On screen, Commander Du-Yun looked surprised. Their weapons had barely affected the human ship. That's impossible, the alien commander said. Those were Class 4 energy cannons. Captain Kim realized the problem. The Thunderbolt's defenses were far more advanced than this galaxy's technology. What humans considered standard shielding appeared godlike to the Coalition. Athene defense system activated, announced the ship's AI in a calm female voice. Multiple incoming projectiles detected. The Coalition had launched a second volley, this time with a dozen energy beams from different ships. Hold fire, ordered Captain Kim. Defensive measures only. The Thunderbolt's point defense system sprang to life. Tiny energy pulses shot out with perfect accuracy, intercepting each incoming beam before it reached the shields. It looked like a beautiful but deadly light show. On the Coalition ships, alarms sounded. Their sensors showed something shocking. The human vessel had neutralized their attack with ease, using technology they couldn't understand. Captain, said Yi-Jin, I'm picking up hundreds of communications between their ships. They're scared and confused. Our defenses are unlike anything they've seen. Commander Du-Yun's face showed a mix of fear and anger. What are you? Your technology is beyond anything in known space. Sujin turned to Captain Kim. Sir, more ships are coming. A lot more. The view screen showed dozens of Coalition warships dropping out of faster-than-light travel. They surrounded the Thunderbolt in a sphere formation. They're calling for their admiral, said Hyunwoo, monitoring communications. Someone named Jun Ho-baek. Captain Kim tried once more for peace. "Commander, we don't want conflict. We only want to repair our ship and return home." "Your ship could destroy our entire defense fleet," said Commander Du Yun. "We cannot take that risk." In the medical bay, Min-ji felt the tension growing. She prepared her team for possible injuries, hoping diplomacy would work. On the bridge, Lieutenant Sujin's console beeped urgently. "Captain, they're charging weapons. All ships. This isn't a warning shot. It's a full attack formation." Captain Kim's face hardened. "All hands. Battle stations. Athena, set defensive protocols to minimum force. Disable. Don't destroy." Admiral Junho Bak's face filled the view screen. He had dark blue skin like Commander Du Yun, but with deeper ridges on his forehead and face. His uniform showed many more medals and badges. 4 armed guards stood behind him. "I am Admiral Junho Bak, Supreme Commander of the Coalition's 7th Fleet," he said in a deep voice. "You claim to be from another galaxy, in a ship with technology beyond our understanding. Explain yourselves immediately." Captain Kim bowed his head slightly, a sign of respect. "Admiral, I am Captain Tae-ho Kim of the human spaceship Thunderbolt. We were testing a new wormhole drive when it malfunctioned. We arrived here by accident and seek only repairs and peaceful passage home." Admiral Bak's eyes narrowed. "These claims are difficult to believe. Our scans show weapons that could destroy multiple fleets. No peaceful exploration vessel needs such firepower. Where we come from, space is dangerous," Captain Kim explained. "Our ship is built for defense and long missions. We have no wish to harm anyone." While they talked, Intelligence Officer Yi Jin studied the Coalition ships on her screen. She leaned close to Captain Kim. "Sir," she whispered, "they're moving smaller ships to surround us. Classic attack formation." Captain Kim kept his face calm, but worry grew inside him. Meanwhile, on the Coalition command ship, Admiral Bake met with his officers in a large room with a round table. Holograms showed the Thunderbolt from all angles. "This vessel appeared from nowhere," said Intelligence Officer Yi Jin Wang, pointing to the ship model. "Its hull is made of materials we cannot identify. Its power readings are off our charts." Admiral Bake frowned. "Could it be from the Nixilian Empire? A new weapon?" "No, Admiral," said Yi Jin. "The Nixilians don't have this technology either. These humans might be telling the truth about coming from another galaxy." Security Director Kyun Ho Nam slammed his fist on the table. "Truth or lies, that ship is too dangerous to allow near our worlds. One vessel with that much firepower could destroy a planet." Admiral Bake nodded slowly. "Show me their weapons capabilities again." Yi Jin touched controls on the table. A hologram showed the Thunderbolt's earlier defense against their warning shots. The perfect accuracy, the speed of response, it was unlike anything they had seen. "If this is just their defense system," whispered Admiral Bake, "what can their actual weapons do?" Back on the Thunderbolt, Medical Officer Min Ji-song treated injured crew members in the medical bay. The rough jump through the wormhole had hurt 20 people. She wrapped a bandage around a young engineer's arm. "Will there be a fight, Doctor?" the engineer asked. Min Ji tried to smile. "Captain Kim is smart. He'll find a peaceful way." In the communications center, Hyun Woo-yoon worked frantically. He had connected his system to the ship's universal translator. "Captain, I'm breaking through their security channels," Hyun Woo reported over the comm. "They're discussing attack plans. They're scared of us." Captain Kim sighed. Fear often led to violence. He needed to change their minds quickly. "Jae-yun," he called to his diplomatic officer, "prepare a data package about human history. Show we've had our wars but learned to value peace. Maybe they'll understand we don't want to fight." On the Coalition command ship, Admiral Bake made his decision. "Prepare the fleet for attack," he ordered. "We cannot risk this vessel reaching any of our worlds if their technology fell into the wrong hands." Commander Du Yun looked troubled. "Admiral, should we not try more diplomatic approaches? If they wanted to attack, they could have done so already. It could be a trick." said Security Director Kyung-ho. They wait while scanning our defenses, learning our weaknesses. Admiral Baek nodded. I cannot take that chance. The safety of the coalition comes first. On the Thunderbolt, alarms blared. Captain, Su-jin called out. They're powering weapons on all ships. Full combat energy signatures. Captain Kim stood up. Shields to maximum. Athena, prepare non-lethal countermeasures. Non-lethal options ready, Captain. The ship's AI responded calmly. Weapons Officer Jaiho looked at his captain. Sir, with respect, their fleet could overwhelm even our defenses with enough hits. Should we show them what we can really do? No, said Captain Kim firmly. We are visitors here. We will not fire first, and we will not kill unless absolutely necessary. The bridge crew looked at their captain with respect. Even facing a massive alien fleet, he held to human principles. In the engine room, Han Bin worked desperately on the wormhole drive. We need 2 more days to fix this, he told his team. We have to keep the ship safe until then. The coalition ships moved into attack formation. 50 warships surrounded the lone human vessel. Their weapons glowed with building energy. All ships, prepare to fire on my command. Admiral Baek ordered from his flagship. His voice was cold and firm. Commodore Sung-min Jang, commander of the attack group, looked troubled. Admiral, are we certain this is necessary? This could be first contact with a new species. They are too dangerous, Admiral Baek replied. If that ship reaches any of our worlds, it could mean the end of the coalition. We strike now. On the Thunderbolt, Captain Kim watched the enemy ships on the main screen. His crew waited for his orders, faces tense but ready. Jaiho, Captain Kim said to his weapons officer, activate HFY's full defensive capabilities. Disable only, no destruction unless absolutely necessary. Jaiho nodded and entered commands. Athena defense system at full power, Captain. Non-lethal protocols engaged. Sir, Su-jin called from her station. They're targeting our engines and weapon systems. Multiple lock-ons detected. Captain Kim stood tall. All hands, brace for impact. Medical teams stand by. In the coalition fleet, Admiral Baek gave the final order. All ships, fire. The space around the Thunderbolt lit up as hundreds of energy beams and missiles streaked toward the human ship. The attack was massive, designed to overwhelm any defense system. Incoming fire, multiple vectors, reported ATHENA calmly. Initiating countermeasures. What happened next stunned everyone watching. The Thunderbolt's defense system came alive in a display of technology beyond the coalition's understanding. Precise energy pulses shot out, intercepting missiles before they got close. A shimmering energy field absorbed energy beams, growing brighter but never breaking. Most impressive was the Thunderbolt's point defense grid. Tiny, nearly invisible beams shot out at impossible speeds, hitting incoming projectiles with perfect accuracy. Not a single coalition weapon reached the ship's hull. On his flagship, Admiral Baek stared in disbelief. Impossible. How can one ship stop so many weapons? Sir, reported a sensor officer, the human vessel's shields are still at 92% strength. Admiral Baek's face darkened. Launched the second wave. All ships, continuous fire. The coalition ships fired again, this time with everything they had. Energy weapons, gravity torpedoes, plasma cannons, all aimed at the Thunderbolt. Inside the human ship, the crew felt only slight trembles as ATHENA handled the attacks. Captain, said Jaiho, they're using their full arsenal against us. Athena can handle it, but they won't stop unless we show them what we can do. Captain Kim nodded slowly. You're right. Prepare a measured response. Target weapons and engines only. No life support, no crew areas. Yes, sir, Jaiho replied, fingers moving across his console. Targeting solutions ready. Captain Kim took a deep breath. Athena, execute precision strike pattern alpha. Disable, don't destroy. Executing pattern alpha, responded the AI. The Thunderbolt suddenly released dozens of small, fast drones. They shot out in all directions, moving too quickly for Coalition targeting systems to track. At the same time, nearly invisible energy beams fired from the human ship, hitting specific points on the Coalition vessels with surgical precision. On the Coalition ships, weapons systems failed. Engines shut down. Power fluctuated. But life support remained untouched, and no crew members were harmed. "What's happening?" shouted Admiral Bake as his flagship's lights flickered. "Report." "Our main weapons are offline," reported a terrified officer. "They hit exactly the right power junctions. Impossible accuracy." Across the Coalition fleet, the story was the same. Ship after ship reported weapons and engines disabled by perfect shots that caused no casualties. The small drones from the Thunderbolt attached to key ships, injecting code that temporarily disabled their systems. In just 3 minutes, 47 Coalition warships had been neutralized. Only 3 remained functional, including Admiral Back's flagship. On the view screens of every Coalition ship appeared Captain Kim's face. "This demonstration was necessary but regrettable," he said calmly. "We disabled your weapons but harmed no one. We could have destroyed your fleet, but that is not our way. Now, can we talk peacefully?" The silence that followed was heavy. The Coalition commanders stared at their screens, shocked by what they had witnessed. One human ship had effortlessly disabled their entire attack force without killing anyone. Admiral Beck's hands shook slightly. He had never seen such power used with such restraint. "The human ship is hailing us again," reported his communications officer. "Put them through," Admiral Bake said quietly. Admiral Bake stood silent for a long moment. Around him, the Coalition command bridge was tense. Some officers looked afraid, others angry. The human ship had disabled their entire fleet without killing anyone. "Admiral, we must respond," urged Security Director Kyung-ho. "Call for the reserve fleets." Ambassador Soo-hyun stepped forward. "That would be a mistake. They've shown they don't want to fight. We should talk to them." Admiral Bake made his decision. "Open a channel to the human ship." Captain Kim's face appeared on the screen again. His expression was serious, but not threatening. "Captain Kim, your ship has disabled my fleet with ease," Admiral Bake said. "What do you want from us?" "Just what I said from the beginning," Captain Kim replied. "We need to repair our ship and return home. We have no interest in your worlds or resources." On the Thunderbolt, Science Officer Yeon Ji-shin worked quickly at her station. She had been studying Coalition communications during the battle. "Captain," she called out, "I've analyzed their language patterns. Our translator wasn't working correctly. That's why they didn't understand our peaceful intentions." Captain Kim nodded. "Can you fix it?" "Yes, sir. I need 10 minutes." While EMG worked, Captain Kim continued talking with Admiral Bake. As a show of good faith, Captain Kim said, "We will help repair your ships. Our drones didn't cause permanent damage." Admiral Bake looked suspicious. "Why would you help us after we attacked you?" "Because that's what humans do," Captain Kim said simply. "We defend ourselves when needed, but prefer peace when possible." ENJ called out, "Translation system updated, Captain. It should work properly now." Captain Kim nodded. "Admiral Bake, I'm sending you corrected translation protocols. This should help us understand each other better." On the Coalition flagship, the new data arrived. Their computers analyzed it, then updated their translation systems. "Admiral," said Communications Officer Da Jung, "their new translation software is far more advanced than ours. It's already improving our understanding." With the better translator working, Captain Kim explained their situation again. He told how the Thunderbolt had been testing a new wormhole drive that would let humans travel between galaxies. He explained how the drive had malfunctioned, sending them far from home. "Our engineer estimates we need 3 days to repair the drive," Captain Kim finished. "Then we can leave your space forever." On the Coalition ship, Genup psychologist Tai Yan Quan had been listening carefully. She approached Admiral Baek. "Admiral, I've been analyzing Captain Kim's speech patterns and body language," she said. "Everything indicates he's telling the truth. These humans really are lost travelers." Admiral Baek frowned. "How can we be sure? Their technology is beyond anything we've seen." "That's exactly why they would have no reason to lie," Tai Yan explained. "If they wanted to conquer us, they could have done so already. They disabled our fleet without casualties when they could have destroyed us all." Admiral Baek considered this. It made sense. The humans had shown both overwhelming power and unusual restraint. Meanwhile, on the Thunderbolt, Han Bin reported from engineering. "Captain, we've stabilized the wormhole drive core. No danger of explosion now. Repairs are proceeding well." "Good work, Han Bin," Captain Kim replied. Back on the view screen, Admiral Baek was conferring with Ambassador Soo-hyun and other advisors. After several minutes, he faced Captain Kim again. "Captain, we will allow your repairs to proceed. Ambassador Soo-hyun will serve as liaison between our peoples. However, Security Director Kyung-ho insists your ship remain at this location, away from populated areas." Word about the human ship spread quickly through Coalition space. Leaders from different worlds called emergency meetings. Everyone wanted to know about these powerful visitors from another galaxy. On the Coalition Central World, the High Council gathered. 20 alien leaders sat around a large round table. Some had blue skin like Admiral Baek. Others were green, purple, or orange. All looked worried. "These humans possess technology that makes our best ships look primitive," said General Dong-hyuk Cho, the Coalition's military leader. He showed videos of the Thunderbolt disabling the fleet. "One ship defeated 50 of ours without destroying any. We must consider them an extreme threat." Ambassador Soo Hyun-moon stood up. She had just returned from meeting with the humans. "The humans have been nothing but peaceful since arriving," she argued. "They defended themselves when attacked, yes, but with remarkable restraint. Captain Kim even offered medical technology that could save millions of lives across our worlds." "That could be a trick to gain our trust," said General Dong-hyuk. "Once we lower our guard, their main fleet could arrive." Meanwhile, on the Thunderbolt, Captain Kim met with his senior officers. They gathered in the ship's meeting room, sitting around a metal table. "Repairs are proceeding well," reported Han Bin. "The wormhole drive will be operational in 36 hours. "Good," said Captain Kim. "What about our diplomatic situation?" Jai-Yun looked at her datapad. "Mixed results, Captain. Ambassador Soo-hyun is supporting us in the Coalition Council, but many military leaders want us to leave immediately. Others want to study our technology first. They're afraid of us," added Yi-jin. "Their historical records show they've never encountered a species with our level of technology. They're used to being the most advanced civilization in their part of space." Captain Kim nodded. "Then we need to show them we're not a threat. Jai-Yun, prepare technology packages we can share. Medical equipment, clean energy systems, food production. Things that help people, not weapons." "Yes, Captain," Jai-Yun replied. Back at the Coalition Council, the debate grew heated. Security Director Kyung-ho had joined the session, his face twisted with anger. "We cannot allow these humans to leave with knowledge of our worlds," he shouted, "and we cannot allow them to keep technology that could destroy us all." Ambassador Soo-hyun stood her ground. "The humans have offered to share beneficial technology with us. Medical systems that could end diseases that have plagued our worlds for centuries." Chief Researcher Jin Wukang stepped forward. He had visited the Thunderbolt and seen human technology firsthand. "The humans use power systems we've only theorized about," he explained, showing diagrams on the big screen. "Clean energy that could replace our polluting systems. Their medical scanners can detect illnesses months before symptoms appear." Some council members looked interested, others suspicious. "Why would they share such valuable technology?" asked a green-skinned council member. "What do they want in return?" Nothing, said Ambassador Su-hyun. They say sharing knowledge is part of their values. General Dong-hyuk laughed coldly. No species is that generous. There must be a hidden purpose. On the Thunderbolt, Lieutenant Jae-hwan Park, the ship's security chief, noticed something concerning on his monitors. "Captain, I'm detecting unusual activity around our ship," he reported. "Small vessels moving in patterns consistent with surveillance. They're scanning specific sections of our hull." Captain Kim frowned. "Increased security protocols. I don't want to appear paranoid, but be ready for anything." In his private ship, Security Director Kyung-ho met with his team of 12 elite soldiers. They wore black armor with special stealth systems. "The plan is simple," he told them, showing a hologram of the Thunderbolt. "We will board here, at the secondary maintenance hatch. Our scans show it's the least monitored section. Once aboard, we move to the engine room and the main computer core. We copy all data on their technologies, then place these devices." He held up small metal discs. "They will disable the ship's systems when activated, giving us control." The soldiers nodded, faces serious. They believed they were protecting the coalition from a dangerous alien threat. What they didn't know was that the Thunderbolt's security systems were far more advanced than anything they had encountered before. In the Coalition Council, the debate ended with a split decision. Half the council, led by Ambassador Su-hyun, voted to establish friendly relations with the humans. The other half, led by General Dong-hyuk, voted to force the humans to leave immediately. With no clear majority, Admiral Buddick was given authority to handle the situation as he saw fit. Security Director Kyung-ho's stealth ship moved silently toward the Thunderbolt. The small black vessel was nearly invisible against the darkness of space. Inside, 12 elite soldiers prepared their equipment. "Remember," Kyung-ho told his team, "we need the engine schematics and weapons data. Kill only if absolutely necessary." The soldiers nodded. They wore special suits that blocked most sensor scans. Their weapons were designed to disable rather than kill. They wanted the human technology intact. On the Thunderbolt, Captain Kim gathered his security team in the tactical room. Major Yuna Seo, leader of the ship's marine unit, stood at attention with her squad. "We have uninvited guests coming," Captain Kim told them. Director Kyung-ho thinks his stealth technology can hide his approach, but ATGENA detected his ship 5 minutes ago. Major Yuna nodded. She was tall and serious, with short black hair and eyes that missed nothing. "What are your orders, sir?" "Capture, don't harm," Captain Kim said firmly. "Use non-lethal methods only. I want to show the coalition how humans handle borders." "Yes, sir," Major Yuna replied. "My team is ready." As they spoke, Lieutenant Jae-hwan monitored the security screens. "Captain, they're approaching the maintenance hatch on Deck C. Exactly where ATGENA predicted." Captain Kim smiled slightly. "Let them think they've succeeded in boarding. Then show them why it's a bad idea to sneak onto a human warship." Kyung-ho's ship attached to the Thunderbolt's hull with barely a sound. The soldiers cut through the outer door of the maintenance hatch using advanced tools. Their sensors showed no alarms had been triggered. "Too easy," Kyung-ho whispered as they entered the dark corridor. "Team 1, head for the engine room. Team 2, with me to the computer core." The soldiers moved silently through the dimly lit corridors. Strange, they thought, that they encountered no crew members. Unknown to them, ATGENA had rerouted all personnel away from their path while tracking their every move. In the security center, Major Yuna watched their progress. "They're good," she admitted. "Professional movement patterns, proper formation. But they have no idea what they're walking into." Captain Kim nodded. "Let them reach the first checkpoint, then execute Containment Plan Delta." Kyung-ho's team moved deeper into the ship. They passed through several corridors without incident, growing more confident with each step. "Their security is surprisingly weak," one soldier whispered. Kyung-ho frowned. Something felt wrong. It was too easy. They reached a large door labeled Engine Control in human writing. The team used special devices to bypass the lock. The door slid open, revealing a large, dimly lit room with humming machinery. "We've reached the target," Kyung-ho reported quietly, beginning data collection. As they entered the room, suddenly all the lights came on at full brightness. A calm female voice spoke from all around them. "Unauthorized personnel detected. Initiating non-lethal containment." Before they could react, invisible energy fields activated around each intruder. They found themselves unable to move, frozen in place by forces they couldn't see or understand. Major Yuna and her Marines entered the room, weapons ready but not aimed directly at the intruders. "Welcome aboard the Thunderbolt," Major Yuna said calmly. "I'm afraid you've entered a restricted area." Kyung-ho struggled against the invisible field holding him, but couldn't move. "How?" he gasped. "Our stealth technology is the best in the Coalition." "Perhaps in the Coalition," Major Yuna replied, "but not compared to human sensors." At that moment, on the Coalition command ship, Admiral Baek received an urgent message. His face paled as he read it. "What is it, Admiral?" asked Ambassador Soo-hyun. "A human drone just appeared in our central command center," Admiral Baek said, his voice shaking. "It bypassed all our defenses like they weren't even there." On the main screen of the Coalition ship appeared Captain Kim's face. "Admiral Baek, I apologize for this unusual communication method," Captain Kim said, "but I needed to demonstrate something important to you." The small drone hovered in the middle of the Coalition bridge. It projected a hologram showing Kyung-ho and his team captured on the Thunderbolt. "Security Director Kyung-ho attempted to infiltrate my ship without authorization," Captain Kim continued. "My crew captured his team without harming anyone, but I want you to understand something crucial, Admiral." The drone projected another image, detailed schematics of the Coalition command ship, showing every system, every weakness, every defense. The meeting between humans and Coalition leaders was set for the next day. Captain Kim had invited representatives from all major Coalition worlds to visit the Thunderbolt. Many accepted, curious to see the inside of the mysterious human ship. Ambassador Soo-hyun helped organize the event. "This will be historic," she told Captain Kim. "The first formal diplomatic meeting between humans and the Coalition." Even Admiral Baek agreed to attend. Security Director Kyung-ho had been removed from his position after his failed infiltration attempt. General Dong-hyuk would represent military interests, though he remained suspicious of human intentions. As preparations continued, Lieutenant Soo-jin called Captain Kim to the bridge urgently. "Captain, long-range sensors have detected multiple ships entering this sector," she reported. "They're not Coalition designs." Captain Kim frowned. "Can you identify them?" "HFY has analyzed their engine signatures," Soo-jin replied. "They match historical records the Coalition shared with us. They appear to be Nixilian vessels." Captain Kim turned to Intelligence Officer Yi-jin. "What do we know about the Nixilians?" Yi-jin pulled up information on her screen. According to Coalition records, the Nixilian Empire is their oldest enemy, highly aggressive, technologically advanced. They've been in a Cold War with the Coalition for over a century. Captain Kim immediately contacted Admiral Baek. The Admiral's face appeared on screen, looking worried. "We've detected the Nixilian fleet too," Admiral Baek said grimly. 27 warships approaching this sector. This is unusual. They rarely venture this far into Coalition space. "They must have heard about the Thunderbolt," Ambassador Soo-hyun said, appearing beside Admiral Baek. "News of your ship is spread throughout nearby systems." "Could they be coming to investigate us?" Captain Kim asked. Admiral Baek shook his head. "The Nixilians don't investigate. They conquer. If they're coming, it's because they see an opportunity while our defenses are damaged." On the bridge of the Nixilian command ship, Emperor's Fist, Admiral Pexortai watched the sensor readings with cold eyes. His gray skin was covered in metallic implants, showing his high rank. The coalition fleet is crippled, he told his officers. Their pathetic attempt to contain one alien vessel has left their defenses weak. This is our chance to strike. His second-in-command, Commander Velnar, nodded. What about this new ship they encountered? The human vessel. A curiosity we will examine after we crush the coalition forces, Admiral Xortai replied. If its technology is valuable, we will take it. If not, we will destroy it. Back at Nebulon 7, Admiral Bake called all available ships to defensive positions, but with most of the fleet still undergoing repairs after the encounter with the Thunderbolt, their forces were limited. We can field only 12 fully operational vessels, reported Commander Duyun. Not enough to stop an Nixilian battle group. Captain Kim watched these developments with concern. The diplomatic progress they had made was now threatened by this new danger. Captain, Han Bin called from engineering. The wormhole drive is almost repaired. We could leave within 6 hours, before the Nixilians arrive. Captain Kim considered this option. They could escape the coming conflict and return home. The coalition's problems were not their responsibility. But that wasn't the human way. Admiral Bake. Captain Kim said, opening a channel. The Thunderbolt offers its assistance in defending this sector. Admiral Bake looked surprised. You would help us, after we tried to destroy your ship. That's behind us now, Captain Kim replied. We won't abandon people in danger if we can help. The coalition officers were stunned by this offer. Their own ships had attacked the Thunderbolt, and yet the humans were willing to fight alongside them against a common enemy. Captain Hai Jinyu, commander of one of the few operational coalition cruisers, was assigned as liaison with the Thunderbolt. Her ship, the Stellar Guardian, pulled alongside the human vessel. Captain Kim, my crew and I will coordinate with your tactical systems, she said when they met via view screen. Though I'm not sure what strategy would work against such a large Nixilian force. Sometimes the best defense is a strong offense, Captain Kim replied. ATENA has analyzed Nixilian ship designs from your database. They have several structural weaknesses we can target. As the Nixilian fleet approached, Admiral Ktortai grew confident of easy victory. Long-range scans showed only 13 ships defending the sector, 12 coalition vessels, and the unknown human ship. Pathetic, he sneered. They cannot hope to stand against us. Prepare all weapons. We will make an example of them. Admiral Xortai faced a decision no Nixilian commander had made in 300 years. Retreat or be defeated. Pull back, he ordered, his voice tight with anger. Regroup at Sector 9. As the remaining Nixilian ships turned away, relief spread through the coalition fleet. They had faced a superior enemy force and survived. Because of the humans. Victory, cheered the crew of the Stellar Guardian. Captain Haijin allowed herself a small smile. She opened a channel to the Thunderbolt. Captain Kim, your tactics were brilliant, she said. You disabled their ships without destroying them. That's the human way, Captain Kim replied. We fight when necessary, but try to minimize loss of life. There's no honor in needless killing. This concept amazed the coalition officers. In their history, warfare meant total destruction of enemies. The idea of fighting with restraint was new to them. Admiral Bake invited Captain Kim to the coalition command ship for a proper celebration. This time, there were no guards, no weapons scans. The human captain was welcomed as a hero. In the grand meeting hall, representatives from all coalition worlds gathered. The room buzzed with excited talk about the battle. When Captain Kim entered with his senior officers, the crowd fell silent, then erupted in cheers. Admiral Bake stepped forward. Captain Kim, the coalition owes you a debt we cannot repay. You defended us against the Nixilians when you could have left. You showed mercy to enemies who showed none. Today, we have learned much about humans. Ambassador Soo-hyun presented Captain Kim with a crystal sphere, the coalition's highest honor. This Star of Alliance has never been given to a non-coalition species before, she explained. It represents eternal friendship. Captain Kim accepted the gift with a bow. The people of Earth thank you. We came here by accident, but perhaps it was a fortunate accident after all. In the days that followed, a new era of cooperation began. Coalition scientists worked alongside the Thunderbolt's crew, learning about human technology. Dr. Minji shared medical knowledge that would save millions of lives throughout Coalition space. Engineer Han Bin helped improve Coalition ship designs. Even General Dong Hyuk changed his view of humans. After watching battle recordings, he approached Captain Kim privately. "Your people fight unlike any species I've encountered," the general admitted. "You have the power to destroy, yet you choose precision and mercy. This is unexpected. Humanity learned harsh lessons through our own history," Captain Kim explained. "We discovered that the strongest warrior isn't the one who destroys the most, but the one who achieves victory while preserving life." General Dong Hyuk nodded slowly. "A philosophy worth studying. Perhaps the Coalition military could learn from this approach." As the final repairs on the wormhole drive neared completion, Captain Kim met with his senior officers. "We'll be ready to return home tomorrow," Han Bin reported. "The drive is stable now." Captain Kim looked at his crew, the people who had faced an unknown galaxy with courage and wisdom. "You've all performed beyond expectations. When we return to Earth, the story of our journey will open a new chapter in human history." That evening, Admiral Bake hosted a farewell dinner for the Thunderbolt's officers. Coalition leaders from 12 worlds attended. The mood was warm and friendly, very different from their first encounter. "The Coalition High Council has voted unanimously to establish formal relations with humanity," announced Ambassador Su Yun. "We would like to send representatives back with you, if possible." Captain Kim smiled. "We would be honored to carry your ambassadors to Earth." The next morning, as the Thunderbolt prepared for departure, hundreds of Coalition ships gathered to witness the event. They formed an honor guard, lining the path the human ship would take. On the bridge, Captain Kim looked at the view screen showing the Coalition vessels. Among them was the Stellar Guardian, commanded by Captain Hai-Jin, who had asked to lead the escort. "Wormhole drive ready, Captain," reported Han Bin from engineering. "Coordinates set for Earth. All systems normal," added Lieutenant Su Jin. "We're ready when you are, sir." Captain Kim nodded. "Open a channel to Admiral Bake." The Admiral's face appeared on screen. "Captain Kim, the Coalition will remember the Thunderbolt and her crew. You came as strangers but leave as friends. And we will return as allies," promised Captain Kim. "This is not goodbye, but the beginning of a new relationship between our peoples." 4 Coalition representatives had joined the Thunderbolt for the journey to Earth. They stood on the bridge, watching with excitement as the wormhole drive powered up. "Activating wormhole in 3, 2, 1, counted Han Bin.